Alright, this weekend is Snake Preview, and I wanted to discuss potential pricing on cards. You guys get all that? So basically we know what the rarities are. I wanted to talk about the 8 secret rares, touch a little bit on the ultras for you guys, but first off, I just wanted to show off this very beautiful picture of Bigfoot and just some of the other rarities that we already have kind of known about. Why? Okay, so the first big thing I need to tell you, I don't think this card should be more than $2. Like, I don't like most of the ultras in this set should not be very much, if anything. If we look at like price trends and stuff, we're going to use Flames of Destruction as a example here. We're not going to use the previous sets because reprints have killed the values in these. So the biggest thing in this set, which was impermanence, is holding value at $60. Does this set have an impermanence? We'll see. That has something to be left to be said. But something as useful as Ghost Bell, just as a very generic card, is sitting at $33. Then you have things like Ibly, which we're sitting at the $30 to $35 range, which is honestly where I'm kind of expecting we're going to be seeing the Nightmares go, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. More generic-esque cards that are like one-ofs per deck, you kind of tend to see go into like the $15 to $20 range. You know, things like Griffin where 15 have gone down. And even like the most useful ultras, you know, Goblin here, for example, is sitting at $10. You know, as you kind of start to dip down a little bit into like the more semi-useful secret rares and stuff, even Vampire Sucker, which is a very good card for its archetype, is only sitting at, you know, like $8. Even things like Topological Chisbania being $5, Multi-Faker being a $5 card in its time. You know, less useful things like World Legacy Succession, which are still okay, have kind of like fallen to the wayside. Then things like Elemental Lord started off at $3 and have fallen their way down. Even worse secret rares coming in at like dollars. So with this knowledge, let's start to, you know, think what's going to go on here. So first off, this is a good support card for its archetype, but it's a one-of at most, so you're probably looking at $2. Cyber Dragons, I can see honestly being in the $4 to $5 range, which will eventually creep down to $3. We'll talk about secrets here in a little bit. Once again, a decent support card, probably about $2. I'm expecting this thing to only be $1. Like, there's not really, looking through here, this is going to probably be the most expensive one. I think this will be, so hear me out here. So I'm expecting the Danger archetype to be super expensive and kind of break these rules. One, it's not been a while since we've had an archetype that basically had so much value. I mean, what was it? Spirals, we only had an Ultra, is like the super high-end card. Kaijus have been low rarity. Vendreads were lower rarity except for Reorigin, I believe. And, you know, even FAs were low rarity. You know, I think it's almost been since Burning Abyss that we've had a higher rarity archetype. So for this to be the first thing, I'm expecting this as a draw card and the ability for you to play the game on your opponent's turn. I'm expecting these to be 15, probably 20 on entry. Just week coming out, everyone's like, hands up, like, we need to sell these ASAP. 20 on entry, will creep down to 15, probably will settle closer to 10 about reprint time. So expect to be paying 20s on these very, very early. It's very unfortunate to say that, but because of the card being the way that it is, you know, same thing with this. I'm expecting this to be $5 on entry and creep down just very slowly, you know, just my 2 cents there. Now, secret rares. This is the impermanence of the set. You know, we've seen Borolo Dragon and how he does. If we find ourselves in the same situation that we found ourselves with Borolo in the past, you know, one, it's a very good card. If they short print these, I mean, Boral Sword, to me, is the definition of a staple monster. I think this card is going to be 40 to 50 easily. Like, this is the obvious no-brainer of the equation. If this card starts going below 30, whew! So for those of you who don't know, this guy can't be destroyed by battle. Once per turn, quick effect, target one attack position monster. Change it to defense mode. If you do, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. Your opponent can activate cards and effects in response to this effect. And once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face of monster, you can make this card gain attack equal to that monster's attack. And if you do, that monster's attack becomes half its current attack. These changes last until the end of the turn. This card is an OTK monster, and I'm expecting this thing to hold that $50 price tag for a very long time. And it was only until recently that Borreload started going down because of the reprint. Even such a fantastic card as Saruja has been 40 to 50 down to 45. I think back down to 40 now, actually. So this is for sure the money card of the set. Now, on the flip side of that equation, Mech Knight and Morningstar. So this is 2 monsters, including 1 Mech Knight. If this card's linked something, you discard a Mech Knight monster, World Legacy. Add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. You can only use that effect of Morningstar once per turn. And then your Mech Knight's monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, with monsters in different columns from them. Also, you take no battle damage from those battles. This is just the case of, hey, the majority of the rest of the archetype was secret rare. We're going to follow suit with this, making this secret. I don't see any reason for this card to be more than $10. This card to me is the vampire sucker of the set, with a little bit less spice. I could see these coming in to 7 to 8 and kind of going down. Unless I'm missing something absolutely broken here, this card is strictly for Mech Knights, and I'm going to place it into the $7 to $8 range after calming down. I could be wrong. I've been before, but to me that's what this seems. So, Cyber Dragon Rev System. This just lets you special summon a Cyber Dragon from your hand or graveyard, and it can't be destroyed by card effects. Generic Monster Reborn-esque card, but is a secret rare. I know there's a lot of hype around Cyber Dragons. Don't get me wrong, but hear me out. This is just a Monster Reborn for Cyber Dragons. There's probably going to be a $10 price tag on these. This card should not be more than $5, in my honest opinion, but we'll have to wait and see. I would not catch myself spending that much money on these. Celestial Sextant. Ooh. Place 1 level 6 from your hand or face up on your side of the field, the bottom of your deck, and draw 2 cards. Only use one of these once per turn. So this is a draw card. We've kind of... Well, what's a good example of this as a secret rare? I don't know. I feel like this card's going to hold $5 to $7 just because of what it is. I mean, it's a draw card. You know, a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, we should probably pick these up. I feel like this is going to be a rescue hamster status. And be like, oh no, this card seems really good. But this card shouldn't be more than 5 to 7. Same thing as the rest. Seems to be my go-to. Sears Pass. Pass book. Banish 3 cards on the top of your deck during your 3rd standby phase after this card's activated. Add those 3 banished cards back to your hand. You only activate 1 Sears Pass book per turn. Once again, 3 turns I have to wait for these. I go inherently -1. I'm in the same boat as this. $5 to $7. This card should not be any more than that. So, we have the Pinpoint Landing. Let you draw a card when you special summon 1 monster. So, I've got a lot of indifference about this. I think this card's going to be an underrated gem. I don't think you play 3 of this in a deck. I could see a lot of decks getting away with 1 of these. But, we'll have to wait and see. I think this card could honestly see anywhere from $15 to $20. I definitely think that it's going to be much cheaper and will go up as time. I think this is going to be one of the examples of a very good card being much later in terms of itself. So we'll have to wait and see on this one. I don't think the card should be more than 15, but the card's very, very good. Trust me on that. Unless I'm like under the full assumption that this card does not work the way that I think it does. This card seems really good. Alright. The big elephant in the room are the danger monsters. Seems like Konami would short print these. Just thinking about it. You know, it's going to be really bad if these numbers are extremely low because this archetype is very sought after. You have the ability to play the game on your opponent's turn. You have self-replacement card effects to the draw. And you just have a very good archetype in general here. So the way that I'm going about this is I think we could potentially see these being $20 to $30 a copy, especially between Nessie and Bigfoot. But if there's more available out there and they don't do some shenanigans and like short print these, then they should be cheaper. You know, I would put these on a little bit higher of a level than Ibly. Ibli was a staple, but you don't need 3 copies of her to play the game. You know what I mean? Like, if you're playing the engine, you have these in access. So, you know, because you need multiple copies of these to play the game, unfortunately, you know, these are going to be way more than I could actually ever expect them to be. But I'm expecting $30 to $40 a copy. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, or I'm just being crazy here. But with hype and with not knowing ratios at the moment, there's a lot of danger that could come with these. No pun intended here. So, just my 2 cents. So that's honestly where I'm thinking we're going with this set in terms of just my value. You know, tell me I'm right or if I'm wrong, or if you think I'll be right in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I'm out, guys. Deuce Arena.